Hello everybody, it's a compilation nobody asked for, but I'm giving it to you anyway like an STD you got at a bad prom date. Alright, so my wife had her best friend over. They were chatting and we were all having a good time. My wife left the room and her friend asked me, "Where can I find a man like you?" "Right here, baby, I cheat," is the wrong thing to say because she told her, and long story short, does anyone need a roommate? Starting your day with an early morning run is the best way to ensure that your day can't get any worse than it started. So I was spending time with my wife, and out of nowhere she asked me how would I describe her. So immediately I thought fast, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. She says, "Well, what does that mean?" I said, "You're adorable, beautiful, caring, divine, elegant, feisty, gorgeous, and hot." "Oh, why, thank you. What does the IJK mean?" Just kidding. She didn't find it as funny as I did. So, anybody need a roommate? So I had just gotten home. I said hello to my wife, went to the fridge, grabbed a beer. I said, "I'm just gonna have one before it starts." Sat down in front of the TV and watched a little bit of TV. 15 minutes later, I got up, grabbed me another beer, told the missus, "Hey, I'm gonna have me another one before it starts." Sat down, enjoyed some TV, drank it up. 5 minutes later, went to the fridge, got me another one. Said, "I'm gonna have one more before it starts." Sat down in front of the TV, she comes over there. "Is that all you're gonna do, is drink beer all night?" It started. So I went to a divorce lawyer. I told the guy, I just can't take it anymore. My wife is out every night, way past midnight, going from bar to bar. The lawyer asked me, "What do you think she's doing?" "She's looking for me." Everyone, I am so excited. I have a meeting at the bank later, and if all goes well, I think I'll be out of debt. Me and my wife just had a full-on war over Skittles, guys. She left the house to go run some errands, and when she came back, the Skittles were gone. I'm like, "Honey, you can leave $10,000 on the table in front of me, and when you get back, every dime is gonna be there, baby. But if you leave candy unattended with me, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't love you that much." So I got home, the wife's already in bed. I laid down next to her. I said, "Oh, honey, I'm exhausted. Good night." She puts her hand on my chest about a minute later and says, "What would you do if I told you you had a beautiful, sexy woman laying right next to you?" I said, "Don't worry, honey. I'd stay faithful." She didn't even give me time this time to pack a backpack. Anybody need a roommate? They say exercise helps decision making. I believe it. After this run, I think I've decided I'm never gonna go running again.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Percolator.
I just got back from the gas station and I had kind of like a little mini encounter, something funny I figured I'd tell y'all. So this guy comes up to me and asks me for $1. I said, "I'm sorry, brother. I only carry big bills." He said, "Well, give me one of those then." So I gave him my power bill. Last night I got out of the shower. I got the surprise of my life. My wife was in bed wearing a sexy police outfit. I got in bed, she said, "You're being charged with being good in bed." Oh my gosh, but 90 seconds later, all charges were dropped. This is for all the husbands out there. Guys, if your wife is doing something wrong, just explain to her how your mother used to do it. She'll appreciate the advice and strive to do it like your mother did. And if you believe that, maybe we can rent a bachelor pad together.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Percolator.
Hello everyone, I'm looking to rehome a small terrier. I have to let you know beforehand that it barks a lot. If you'd like to give it a good home, please let me know in advance and I'll jump over my neighbor's fence and get it for you.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Percolator.
So I was at the electronics store and I was just browsing around and I was like, oh my God, is that a PS5? So I bent over to check it out and I farted a little bit. I was hoping nobody would notice, but the attendant came by. I said, hey, how much is that? He said, if you farted looking at it, you're gonna shit yourself when I tell you the price. Hello everybody, it's me again, Kuya Calvo, or as you ladies know me, hey you behind the bushes. So I was having kind of a bad day today. I went to button up my shirt and the button fell off. I went and picked up my briefcase and the handle fell off. I went to open the door to go outside and the doorknob fell off. Guys, I'm kind of afraid to go pee. I must have an amazing butt. Every time I walk past somebody, I hear them whisper, what an ass. So my wife comes into the room with the suitcase and she says, I'm leaving you. I said, why? Is it because I act like I know everything? She says, yes. I said, I knew it. So men get asked this question, why don't you see a doctor? You know, complaining about this ache or pain. I guess, I can't speak for everybody, but for us married men, it's kind of like being a Republican and a Democrat. I'm the Republican, my wife is a Democrat, and every day she tells me what's wrong with me. So why would I need to go pay somebody to tell me what's wrong with me? She knows everything as it is, right? Me and my wife started a diet about 2 weeks ago, and she comes home and she says, you know what, I've had enough. Why don't we have a cheat day tomorrow? I said, sure, sounds good to me. So she brought home McDonald's. I brought home my secretary. And here I am, you know, looking for another place to stay and wondering, are men ever really going to begin to understand women? I just had an amazing trip to the mall, guys. And on the way back out to the parking lot, I saw this woman crying. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on, ma'am? She said she had just lost $200. I felt so bad for her. I gave her $50 and I didn't even think about it. On the way to my car, I was reflecting a little bit. I said, you know what? I just found $200. When God blesses you, you got to bless others, you know? So I just had a job interview and I was just reflecting on it when I came home. So while I'm in there, I'm talking to the interviewer. We're going back and forth on everything about my resume, etc. Finally gets down to how much salary I'm requesting. And they're like, hey, you're requesting an awful big salary for someone with very little experience. I'm like, well, dude, this job's going to be extra tough because I'm not going to know what I'm doing. There was a turkey and a bull talking in a farmer's pasture. Turkey was all upset, telling the bull, hey, I wish I could get up to the top of that tree, but I don't have the energy. So the bull says, why don't you peck at some of my turds? They're packed with nutrients, and maybe they'll give you enough energy to climb up. So the turkey tried it, took a few pecks at one, found out it did give him a little bit of energy. So he climbed to the first rung of the tree. Next day, he pecks it a few more, climbs to the second rung. Now you're on the fourth day, and the turkey makes it all the way to the top. He's so happy. Farmer comes outside and shoots the turkey. Moral of the story, bullshit might get you to the top, but it won't keep you there. So my wife had some friends over and we were all chatting, and I guess conversation got a little bit heated between me and the wife, and she tried to humiliate me in front of her friends. And she said, I'm not good in bed. She was really surprised when all her friends disagreed with her. In our little community, there's somebody who comes by to pick up your yards. And by pick up your yards, I mean your dog poop, you know what I mean? I hired this guy, came by almost every day, picks everything up out of the yard. After about 4 months go by, he says, hey, Kuya Calvo, I noticed I've never met your dog. Where is he? I said, hey, I never said I had a dog. My wife came to the living room, hands on her hips, and she says, I think there's something wrong with the dryer. I said, why? She said, because my clothes don't fit anymore. I said, the dryer's fine, babe. So's the fridge. I think this might be an extended stay in the doghouse this time, fellas.